That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. Live on Florida location. Welcome in to a What Does Notre Dame Twitter Think About the 24 Irish Recruiting Class edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thank you for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you alerted every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter. Search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. I don't blame you for that. Call-in lines 312-900-8815. You call, tell Johnny all the football happenings you heard and seen. Fighting Irish Wire, read all about it. Patreon.com/alwaysirish. Michael GOOLSBY and myself, you might know him, former captain, leading tackler for the Irish, behind a paywall, letting it rip. What could go wrong? Lots. Thank you to everybody that's joined. Feel free to do so if you'd like to hop on board. So, first things first. Made it to Florida, traveling like Chicago airport a few days before Christmas. We made it. With the 3-year-old, we made it. But I got a couple complaints. Number one, the amount of service dogs at these airports and airplanes, it's out of control. And listen, I'm a guy who prefers the company of a dog to most humans, and I'm saying it's getting out of control. Everywhere you look now in an airport, you're tripping over a leash of somebody's service dog. It's getting out of control. We got to reel this back in. There can't be 30 dogs on a leash everywhere, and there's no way. We got to reel that back in. Also, when I'm getting on this plane from Midway going to Florida, there's no way there should be 35 wheelchair people. There's just no way. Do you know how long this takes to wheel 35 different people into the plane before anybody else does anything? 35 of these wheelchairs lined up. Some of them are legitimately old people that probably need whatever. It's too many. You can't have 35 wheelchair pushers on one plane. You can't. You're throwing the whole thing off. So you need to reel in the wheelchair thing too. Also, why in the hell do half the people flying look like they're homeless? I don't understand. I'm not asking you to wear a suit on an airplane, but put on some clothes. These people look borderline homeless flying. Bugs me. And then here's the last one. The flight's normal. And I'm sitting there kind of like half dozing off or whatever, and I smell something. I thought something died on the plane. I look over, and there's this old lady. She has it's like a to-go container, with like the lid, the plastic with the lid in the bottom and the top that pushes on. And I look down the aisle. This lady on the plane whips out tuna and eggs. Tuna and eggs mixed together in this thing, and she opens it and gets a little knife and a fork and starts eating it. It smelled like a sewer. The whole plane smelled like a sewer. Who in the hell thinks I'm on this plane? Now's the time to whip out eggs and tuna for lunch. Are you out of your mind? Get a grip, lady. So I didn't appreciate that. So those are some things we need to rein in, okay? Not everybody in the airport gets a helpful dog. 35 wheelchairs entering the plane is absurd. There needs to be a cutoff amount. Everybody dressing homeless to fly bothers me. Pull it together. And the fish lady, I couldn't believe it. Tuna and eggs. That's what you decide to make everybody smell? Get a grip. All right. Now let's get into this. Oh, one other thing. Thank you guys we eclipsed the 10,000 subscriber mark while I was flying or whatever. And that means the world to me. That was a target I was looking at, a number I wanted to clear, hopefully by the new year. That was the kind of the accelerated goal, and we did that a little sooner. So Thank you to all of you. You know, that is a marker that shows you're going in the right direction. People like what you're doing and what you're building. So I appreciate all of you that contributed to that. Even the ones who don't like me and they're trolls, whatever. Thank you for joining. And we're not done yet. We're just going to keep going, baby. So this is a really simple concept. Notre Dame had their 24 early signing day, got all the guys they were expected to get. Beautiful. And I simply put out a tweet before I got in the plane saying, Notre Dame fans, explain to me how you're feeling about this class. And I just wanted to leave it there and see where the people take it. Okay, so let's get into some of this. I'm going to try and bring up the screen here. Let's make sure. Okay, so you can see that. And I simply asked, how do we feel about the 24 class? Sports Talk, Drew, deepest Irish class I've seen. Mike, each year people lose their shit because we got him. They think we can win a natty. We said that when we got Manti, Clausen, Jalen, so on and so on. If this class and last year's are truly all what they say, don't get your ass kicked by A&M out of the gate. Big test right away. Big test right away. Mark H., making the program more athletic year by year. Dose leprechauns, whatever the excited emotion is above ecstatic. Nobody, if it holds together, it'll be one to win it all. Wow, that's very positive. Irish 79, very happy, very boring signing day, which means it was a success. I really believe there's some good under the radar prospects like Cahoon, Leonard Moore, for example, to go with the guys in the class. There are some underrated guys. That is something you need to understand. This staff are terrific evaluators. This staff as a whole evaluates way more efficiently and effectively and with more vigor than any Brian Kelly staff. It's just a reality. Michael Reagan, it's an excellent class with like one more defensive tackle, but it's complete with no obvious holes, lots of high impact talent. It's underrated. Ryan Smith, solid, but still outside the top 10. So could and should have been better, in my opinion. Whenever you have a Notre Dame recruiting class under 10 or about rated lower than 10, you're going to have people that want it in the top 10, and so do I. That's just the way it's going to go. Rock solid from the Gipper. Good to have him in there. Mark with glasses. He made a gif of me showing my chain. I'm assuming that's a positive one. Steven Arado, very good start. Triple H fired up here. Justin Timberlake dancing. I'll take that as a good sign. Fantastic. Fire. Stars. Good. But I hate myself for buying into the hype, but let's go. I see there's some optimism, but measured, right? Really solid class. Like Sevillano, but a big-time interior DT would have been really huge for this class. Big fan of the corner tandem, Moore and Obbs, and I think they'll outplay their rankings. Bobo, probably the most well-rounded we've seen in decades. Wow, it is very well-rounded. That is true. Some high-end talent, lots of athleticism. Would be excited if the portal didn't exist. I mean, I don't know what you want out of that. Like, every guy in every recruiting class isn't going to stay. It's just the way it is. Peter Burke, well-balanced with an exceptional top-end talent as we get a lot of depth. Add the 6 from the transfer portal, and the team has changed. Looks good and feels good. Do we put it all together, though? That's what we need to see. That's the idea. You can have all the talent you want. It still has to come together as a unit. You need leaders to emerge. You need some guys to be stars that you thought could be stars. You need other guys to be stars you didn't know they were going to be stars. Brett Gallagher, I'm upset that I didn't hear about an irate man at the O'Hare Airport. It's because I was at Midway. Try again. Right idea, wrong airport. Melanie, it appears to be a really strong class, and the guys stayed committed the entire process. Living in Ohio, I enjoyed watching my siblings sweat it out, thinking they're going to lose their top prospect. Yeah, it's that's the other thing. The fact that all those guys stayed, you didn't have any defections. That is a compliment to those kids. It's a compliment to their support and their families. It's a compliment to Freeman and the staff, and it's a compliment to Notre Dame that you didn't have any of those games going on. Good sign. Zach Foster, deep, nothing flashy, but it builds upon the last 2 classes. KVA is going to be flashy early, and Cam Williams is going to be flashy early. There's some early flash. Andrew, in a couple years, we're going to look back and know how criminally underrated this class is. Screenshot that. Saint, it's a very good one. Evan, deep class with a lot of potential early contributors. Kedron Young is the next estimate. Goolsby absolutely loves him and think he's going to be dynamite and thinks he will be the best back at Notre Dame very soon. Brian, very strong class. Depending on how some perform, could even be elite. Yep. Absolutely love. It's so solid. Guys committed that never wavered. Outstanding job finding great talent that fits the ND mold. Top to bottom Notre Dame guys with no shit show defections. Yep. Dan Lafferty, great class in my opinion. Needs were met. It's a good class, well-balanced, lots of speed and discipline in my opinion. I'm happy about it. Joe Caputo says 4 natties. I'm assuming that's sarcasm. Strong, need 5 stars. That's how top teams have won recently. I mean, in my opinion, Cam Williams is that, and he's going to be instant impact. And I think KVA is going to play right away. He has the instincts for it. He's just going to get better. Like, that's instant impact right away on the field. I love it. Great class. Hope it stays together. Hands Booby. This should be Freeman's last chance to do something before moving on, so let the results speak for themselves. I do disagree with that. He's not going anywhere as things trend right now. Raymond Sports, one of a kind for ND. A thumbs up here from an 80s gif. You got to like that. Optimistic. Over the moon. Dustin Wicker has 2 garbage cans. So apparently Dustin Wicker's not a big fan of this class. If he thought this class is 2 garbage cans, every Kelly class had that. The last handful of years should be 10 garbage cans then. Like, if you're calling this class 2 garbage cans, what are the Kelly classes then? All aboard the hype train. Let's see. Show more replies here. Solid class, not great. Need more O-line talent. About the same as last year. Doesn't move the needle a ton. I think there are some reasons you could say that that's not going to be the case. Like, I think it is going to move the needle because I think you're going to have early guys that can play. So I don't know. I just think when you can disrupt the depth chart right away with guys that are going to see the field as freshmen, that's going to change things. So I don't know. And those O-linemen, a couple of them I think are underrated. Goolsby thinks are underrated. They could develop. And so I don't know. But there's a good sampling of what people think of the class so far. A lot of balance. Needs met. Like, you're not saying, oh, swing and miss at this entire position group. Like, you're not saying that. So balance, getting your needs met. A higher athletic floor is something that I'm seeing where even the lower rated guys in the class can give you stuff, or they have long athletic bodies and frames. They could help you in different areas, maybe grow into a different position, whatever. On both sides of the ball, you have some guys that are not the highest rated guys, but have a bunch of traits that could transition and really end up helping you. And then what excites me the most is on both sides of the ball, there are a couple of guys that I think can play early and make a difference. That's how you truly close the gap. Notre Dame fans always obsessed with closing the gap. That's how you close the gap, is getting freshmen that can play right away, and it alters your depth chart instantly. That's how you close the gap. Notre Dame's got guys that could do that. So just wanted to give you a sampling to throw it out there. You know, I like to be kind of a measuring stick of where the fan base is at on different things. And this was the next one to test. So I wanted to put that out there. Legitimate reasons for optimism here. And this staff, they recruit so hard, so differently. They grind so hard. I appreciate that, a lot of it. So write in the comments what you guys think of the class. And if you agree with me, the service dogs got to get reined in. 35 wheelchair needers got to get reined in. looking almost at the airport, got to get reined in. And the tuna and eggs lady, no. Have some social awareness. You don't whip that food out on an airplane. Tuna and eggs. Are you out of your damn mind, lady? Let me know what you think.